Wonder Woman, Atomic Blonde, The Force Awakens, Ghostbusters. What do all these films have in common, kids? Haters! Here's your damn ranch show, folks. Greetings, I am E. Adam Thomas, and in this episode we will be discussing the foibles of femme fatales and fantastical feature films and TV shows. Try saying that 3 times fast. Joining me will be Angry Andy of the Fuck It team and the diabolical Uncle Drew. So joining me now are the fellow Angry Men here at the Angry Men Reviews channel. We've got Uncle Drew and, of course, again, Angry Andy.
No baby dancing this time.
How you doing, Drew?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. So, the popular topic this week appears to be the fact that people are pissed off about the new Doctor Who having a female lead. People are not taking the new James Bondish. It's not even actually a James Bond movie, but it's in the same vein. What was it called? Blonde Suicide? No, not Atomic Blonde. That's right.
Oh, the Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Badass movie.
So, but the internet reaction to all of these films and all of these new situations has really gotten kind of out of hand, wouldn't you say, Drew?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, would you like to expound on it?
He doesn't want to expand on that. He's used up his bandwidth as it is. I mean, look at him.
I'm just trying to keep my answers short and sweet here.
Oh no, I want you to talk more because I do all the talking on this show usually, and people are tuning out. So
I absolutely think it's out of hand. To me, it's kind of ridiculous too. Everybody wants to talk about how there's a female Doctor Who, or female Ghostbusters, or Black Stormtroopers, or whatever, because of this so-called PC culture. And I just think that's kind of a weak excuse for their own prejudice. PC culture only exists in the mind of community college vegans and conservative talking heads on idiot news channels.
yeah, I agree. And the thing that's most annoying to me is the fact that in the past, Hollywood has had a really bad habit of doing this sort of very pandering casting. Remember the movie version of Wild Wild West where they cast Will Smith as James West? And
right. A part that didn't necessarily, it wasn't written for, he's saying a black guy in the Wild West. He's a black guy in the Wild West. Nobody there would be expecting a black guy to be running around acting like Will Smith. Now, Django Unchained, is a completely different story because then it's a realistic take of what it would be a black guy in the Old West, or Django, or the flippin' Quentin Tarantino movie that for some reason I still haven't seen. But that's a more realistic take from at least everything I've read about it.
yeah. Did you, Drew? Did you ever see Wild Wild West with Will Smith?
Yeah, unfortunately I did. Yeah, that was, there's just no amount of liquor or therapy that's going to get that out of my head.
It was about as...
It's a waste of talented people. I mean, everybody who worked on that fucking movie was a talented individual, and something happened in between the writing and the directing and the acting that everybody, dropped acid and was just completely fucked up all the way through the movie.
I know, they had Kenneth Branagh as Miguelito Loveless. They had Kevin Kline, wasn't it, that played Artemis Gordon. They had a fantastic cast. They had a fantastic director, and it was shot well. But it was just
a steaming pile of Rockford Files shit. Yes,
exactly.
That's exactly what it was.
Exactly. And that just brings to mind the Maverick remake they made with Mel Gibson. That didn't have anything to do with what we're talking about tonight, but that also...
No. But that's exactly what my brain was thinking in that direction, too. Because it's just remake, it's remake mania of all the things that they've made in the 60s and 70s, trying to update it, and doing a poor job because, like you said, they tried to check boxes. Let's put a black guy in it. Let's do this. But that's exactly the pandering that everybody's trying to say all this other stuff is, but it isn't. When it's well written, when you pick a good actor for the part, when the actor meets all the criteria for the story, it's not pandering. When the final result matches every aspect of the production, how can you say that's pandering? You know, you write a story around it, then it should work. It works, and that's not pandering. Wild Wild West is pandering. Having a female Doctor Who, although we haven't seen the writing yet, it could end up being pandering, but I honestly don't think it's going to end up being. But that's probably not pandering, at least as far as I can tell at this point.
Well, what do you say that? What is the cause? What is causing the internet to, and mostly cis males? I mean, I thought after so many years we had the Bionic Woman and Wonder Woman as big TV series. I mean, they were popular, big rating shows, powerful women with intelligent personalities that the actresses fought for smarter storylines and everything, better writing, and I would have thought that by the 70s we were after the women were burning their bras and everything, the whole women's equal rights movement, we were finally coming out of the dark ages in that respect. And it's like somehow within the last 30 or 40 years, we've suddenly, somewhere along the line, probably George W. Bush's fault, if you want my personal opinion, completely done an about face and, just gone completely ass crazy.
Well, my personal opinion on that is the people on both sides, like the extremes, the loud people on both sides of the political spectrum, the uber conservatives and the uber progressives, make it hard for filmmakers to just make a fucking movie. You can't just make Bionic Woman. Why? Because it'll fail, because it'll get steamrolled by every other production, or it'll get nitpicked by either the hardcore conservatives or the hardcore progressives. Why is the Bionic Woman and not the Bionic person? Or then the conservatives are like, we already have a Bionic Man. Why do we need a Bionic Woman? And they're so loud, and because we have the internet, and God bless the internet, but it gives everybody a voice. But unfortunately, it's turning out about 25% of us are fucking morons, and they just are really loud fucking morons.
Louder than us.
Make it hard for anybody to make anything unless it's something on YouTube like this that we can come in here and wave our penises around so long as we pixelate it, that type of thing.
What do you have to add to that, Drew?
Well, I think these reactions are really a matter of insecurity and fear on the part of a lot of people. When this first jumped off, I was kind of angry at the way people were reacting. But I've had some time to reflect on it, and I've come to realize that they're just crying because the world's changing. They've always lived a limited existence, and that existence, they realize that their way of life that they've always defended is coming to an end. Everything's changing, everything's becoming more diverse, and they're gonna throw little tantrums like children.
Yeah, and a lot of it's weird because a lot of it seems to mimic the, and I'm perfectly at the age to address this, is that as you get older, you are more resistant to change. You don't want things to change anymore. You're sick of having to relearn how to do everything, and you want everything to just stay as it was. But the problem I have with the whole thing is that most of the loudest people who have raised these issues are guys half our age, in their early 20s. And it's irritating to me that people half my age have been raised to be such misogynistic, arrogant assholes.
Well, no, I think a lot of it's a matter of perception. I'm a Marvel comic guy. I read a lot of comic books. And, I love the movies and everything else. But people are getting pissed off because, Captain America, Sam Wilson picked up the shield for Captain America. Now all of a sudden a black guy is Captain America. Oh, we can't have that. Steve Rogers can't become, it's got to be Steve Rogers, the right guy. It can't be Sam Wilson, the black guy. Because in their mind, these legacy characters can't change. But Marvel's been doing it their entire run. Jim Rhodes took over as Iron Man in the 80s. And it was a big deal when they did the original Secret Wars, and they had to repair his armor, and he took a part of his armor off, and there was a black guy in the armor, and all of a sudden everybody was like, "Holy crap! I didn't realize Iron Man was black." In the comics, they made a big deal of this surprise that he was black, and then everybody was cool with it because that's the idea that they were trying to get across in the 80s, because the 80s were a lot more racist than they are now. We have gotten much better. Unfortunately, as Drew pointed out, people are fighting against this change because you no longer have as many casual racists. The casual racism is slowly starting to get whittled away by the fact that people are finally fucking waking up and realizing there's nothing wrong with being another race. But the diehards that are just pounding it into their kids, like you're saying, the 20-year-olds are having the diehards just beat into them that this isn't the way it was when I was growing up. When the truth was, it was, but they just didn't pay attention. They didn't pay attention to the gradual changes that were being made in our culture to get to the point that we are now. So they have this perspective that it was all hunky-dory, white, male-dominated. They forget about the Bionic Women and the Ripleys and the Wonder Womans and all these things that we had back then, the Jim Rhodes, and how Carol Danvers took over as Captain Marvel in the 70s. They forget about these things. And their worldview and their perspective is just completely screwed up because of it.
And, it's kind of interesting, too, is that, unfortunately, a lot of the greatest stuff, that, it was more progressive, hasn't aged as well in other aspects, like, Metropolis. Fritz Lang's Metropolis. Maria was the central character, and the actress was playing a dual role in the film. She was playing both the antagonist and the protagonist, and it was really an excellent role for women, especially for that time when women were getting table scraps in most American films. Fritz Lang really gave her the meat of the whole piece. But it was made it was a silent film. It was obviously black and white. The aspect ratio is all wrong for everybody. So trying to get somebody to sit down today that's under the age of 40 or 50 to sit down and watch a film like Metropolis or the 33 King Kong is almost impossible, because you've got this IMAX 3D mindset that most people, they will not sit down and watch something if it was not cutting-edge technology. And I think that's one of the problems, is that the technology has gotten to a point where it's overtaken content to the point where now it's actually making it harder to make a decent film with good characters and actually have it be taken seriously as a film. I mean, Die Hard, for instance. Let's just take that movie for instance. You can probably quote any number of about 24 different lines from Die Hard. How many lines can you quote from, say, Avengers: Age of Ultron?
Well, I mean, that was not that great of a movie, so
yeah. Well,
I can quote a lot more lines from the original Avengers than I can the Age of Ultron.
Well, but you see what I'm saying, though. It's like you take a big movie that's really popular and really culturally massive like that, but it doesn't seem to resonate as much anymore. We don't have any more.
But that's not exactly fair either, because when you look at the movies as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Age of Ultron is considered to be one of the crappier movies. It's a watchable film, but it's not a great film. What?
Okay. Does anybody know where that came from?
It's a watchable film. It's not a horrible film, but it's not to the caliber of the original Avengers. It's not to the caliber of Civil War. I can sit here and I remember a bunch of scenes from Captain America Civil War, and I especially remember a bunch of scenes from Captain America Winter Soldier and Captain America First Avenger, which are better movies than Age of Ultron. You know, the new Spider-Man movie is a better movie than Age of Ultron. Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman is an excellent movie compared to Age of Ultron. And again, people are going to remember the iconic scenes from those movies for a long time, and they're going to forget Age of Ultron because it's not as good of a film. You still got to make a good film, even with the technology that we have today.
Yeah.
Unless it's fucking Avatar with blue people in 3D having sex with their tails and shit. I don't know. You know, that's about the only film I can think of that's in like the top 10 grossers. That's a piece of crap.
So, Drew, are you noticing that Andy's co-host over there, the floating zebra?
The white tiger behind me, the daughter who came in, so I'm getting top as many F-bombs.
We're such good examples for our children on this show. Well, we're coming close to the end here. Drew, any final thoughts?
Fuck 'em. That's my own thought.
When are we going to get some new episodes out of you?
We hear the gears turning.
Yeah.
Just say whenever Andy makes a new episode, Joe make a new episode. The difference is people actually want to see your videos.
That's true.
Not mine. So.
Yeah, for a while you were getting the highest viewer numbers on your videos of anybody on the channel. So, but
Yeah, until you came out with that Godzilla film.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, the Godzilla video, and just wrecked it.
Yeah.
That was amazing numbers you pulled down on that one.
Yeah. I was pretty happy about that. I gotta be perfectly honest. I'm hoping to catch some more thunder like that when the anime Godzilla movie comes out in about a year or so.
The series?
Yeah. No, it's an anime movie, I think.
I thought it was a series, but I saw the preview. It looks pretty good.
But at any rate, well, I think we basically decided then that, well, I don't know, what have we decided? What have we learned from this little exercise, Drew?
Nothing.
Nothing? Andy?
No,
Are we an after-school fucking special? Is that what you're telling me? We have to have a moral to these videos? I thought it was us just jerking off on camera for about 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, I could always shoot a Jerry Springer style final thoughts at the end if you really want me to, but I do that anyway. It's called the big answer.
People are assholes on the internet. What a surprise!
Yeah. Is there anything we can do to change it?
Not be assholes, which I don't think any of us here on camera can do.
Not at the moment, no. Look to your left, Andy.
I know.
There's going to be a lot of footage of me and Drew just sort of sitting here nodding at the camera while Andy talks.
While Andy's talking and has a friggin' puppet behind him. Yes.
Alrighty. All right, well, I want to thank you both for coming on the show. Drew, I enjoyed having you. I would love to do another one-on-one with you sometime. If you we got to find a movie that both of us have completely disparate opinions about, and then just like try to blow each other out of the water.
Drew likes Prometheus.
Yeah, and I do. I really do like that movie.
Which one?
Prometheus.
Prometheus? Okay, I've got to see Prometheus now. I've got to go watch Prometheus.
Oh, you haven't seen Prometheus?
I haven't seen Prometheus. I've been avoiding most of the Alien movies ever since Alien 3 came out because I just was, I suffer from Terminator's disease. I just wish it was all over and they just ended with the second one and called it quits.
My problem is I'm a huge flippin' Alien nerd, so of course I was there the first weekend.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, guys. I really appreciate it, and you have yourselves a great night. And I've got to go down and scream at these assholes.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
So the question on everybody's mind, which conjures up this shamelessly annoying graphic, is what is the big answer? The big answer is that ultimately, what matters in a film or music or TV or whatever is the writing
and whether or not the characters and the situations are engaging. And that pitching a bitch fit because a shape-shifting alien on a TV show shifted its shape a little bit more than you might be comfortable with, or that a new film in a franchise suddenly has a female protagonist instead of a male one, is really a colossal waste of your time and energy. If you're pissed that girls are playing with your toys, maybe it was because you were raised to think of girls as nothing but toys. So in that regard, you need therapy. Now, this is not to say that if the lead performer isn't good at their job, they deserve a pass because they're female or of a different race or something, because they were hired to do a specific job. If they fuck up, then it's on them. But if you're sitting there hoping that they'll fuck up because they're not a cis male or something like that, then you're a fucking jerk and you need to go die in a fire. If anything, any of us said tonight upset or offended you in some way, well, tough. Read the disclaimer at the beginning of the show. Either way, I hope you enjoyed our little piss and vinegar blabberfuck talkie show tonight. I want to thank Angry Andy and Uncle Drew for appearing on the show with me. More film rants are coming up in August, including a review of the new Wonder Woman movie, a special episode about the Coffin Joe trilogy, and lots more curse words and unpopular opinions. Good night, and have a pleasant whatever.
Angry Men Reviews. Many fucks said, no fucks given.
Dirty fuck!
Still haven't gotten enough ranty, juicy goodness? Click over here. There's more to come. Yeah. That wasn't weird.